Welcome to the Don't Get Full Show with Big Rams, College Football Week 6. Let's go, Ace.
Bam. All right, boys and girls, College Football Week 6. Cannot wait, Big Ree. We are at Week 6, and this is where all the real football starts, and you know what teams are what, and cannot wait. Coming off a juicy Week 5, we win 4-2. We're going to keep that money train rolling, so without further ado, here we go, boys and girls. Aquí vamos, chicos y chicas. Let's go. All right, game 1. We got number 14, Iowa State at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a 1.5-point favorite here, Big Ree. Iowa State 5-0, coming off a 39-14 win versus Arizona. They are currently on a 5-game winning streak. Their best win is in Week 1. They have a 27-21 win versus Kansas State. Quarterback Rocco Becht. This guy is playing well. 65% completion, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions on the season. And then we got Cincinnati 3-1, coming off a 37-34 win versus Kansas. That was a shootout. Good win for Cincinnati. They put up 600 yards in that game, led by quarterback Sorsby. 69% completion, 1,043 yards, 10 touchdowns, only 1 interception on the season. They're on a 3-game winning streak. And here's my thoughts in this game. First of all, Iowa State has a bad offensive line. Iowa State's offense is not high-powered. I just do not trust their offense. And this is their first real road game for Iowa State. I'm not even consider that Arkansas State game. And I like the Cincinnati quarterback Sorsby at home to have a big game here. And I like Cincinnati to win this game. And I'm taking Cincinnati minus 1.5. All right, game 2. We got Clemson at North Carolina. Clemson is a 14-point favorite here. Clemson 1-3, coming off a 34-21 loss to Syracuse prior to the bye week. Their only win on the season was a 27-16 win versus Troy. And Cade Klubnik, 60% completion, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. This guy's had an interception in every single game, and he has 4 interceptions already, only had 6 all of last season. We got North Carolina, who is 2-2, coming off a 34-9 loss to UCF. They got completely dominated. Their only win on the season is a 23 win versus Charlotte and 41-6 win versus Richmond. And, you know, here's my thoughts here. First of all, they got dominated in Week 1 by TCU. Completely dominated. And, you know, Bill Belichick coming to UNC, this is a complete joke. Okay, this is a Hall of Fame NFL coach coming to UNC. That's a mid-tier quarter school, and you're coaching them. Then you got your girlfriend on the sidelines talking to you. What kind of crap is this? This whole thing is a complete joke, guys. A complete joke. And Clemson is really hungry. Dabo is hungry. And I really like Clemson here. This is my lock of the week. I would actually buy it down to 13.5. It just makes sense. But this is my lock of the week. I'm taking Clemson minus 13.5. All right, game 3. We got number 11, Texas Tech at Houston. Texas Tech is a 12.5-point favorite. Texas Tech 4-0, coming off a 30-10 win versus Utah prior to the bye week at Utah. They dominated Utah 484 to 263. They are only giving up an average of 11 points per game, Texas Tech here. Quarterback Morton is expected to play in this game. He got knocked out of the last game against Utah with concussion protocol, but they do expect him to play. Then we got Houston, who is 4-0 also, coming off a 27-24 win versus Oregon State. They got outgained by Oregon State 390-352, and they are led by quarterback Connor Wegman, the Texas A&M transfer, 61% completion, 6 TDs, 1 interception. Everybody is going to look at the game from the prior week that Texas Tech beat Utah. Everybody's going to look at that. And then they're going to look at Houston. Oh, Houston struggled against Oregon State. But remember, this was a Friday night game on the road, which is always tricky games in college football. Texas Tech, their wins are against Arkansas Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State. And yeah, they won against Utah by 24, but that win is going to look much better than it really was. And I like Houston here. I think Houston's going to play well, going to keep this competitive. And I'm taking Houston plus 12.5, Big Ree. And before I hand it off, Big Ree, you're continuing on fire, Big Ree. You are 2-1 again last week, and you are just on a complete tear, Big Ree. 11-3 on the season, and let's keep that money train rolling. All right, Big Ree, let's go.
All right, the first game I got is Texas at Florida. Texas 3-1 coming off a bye week. Last game they played was versus Sam Houston State. They won 55-0. Not much to say here. Florida 1-3 coming off a 26-7 loss to Miami. They were completely dominated the whole game. Texas's best win on the season comes versus UTEP, where Arch Manning even struggled, and they won 27-10. Florida has struggled as well. I will admit it. Their loss to South Florida was awful, but this team is better than people think. And also, the Swamp is one of the hardest places to play in the country. The current spread is 6.5, so I'm going to buy it up half a point. It goes from -110 to -125. So I'm going to buy it to +7, and I'm taking Florida +7. The second game I got is Virginia at Louisville. Virginia coming off a huge upset win versus Florida State, 46-38 on the road on Friday night. I'm sure everyone watched it. They stormed the field. Louisville coming off a 34-27 win versus Pittsburgh, which is their best win on the season. Virginia quarterback had an okay game. He did not look that great. 229 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. Running back Jamar Taylor had a huge day. He had 99 yards on the field and a touchdown. Louisville quarterback Miller Moss played well, 339 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 1 interception. This is going to be a good game. Everyone is going to be hyped on Virginia, but as I always say, home field's a big deal. And this is in Louisville, home field. I'm taking Louisville -6.5. That's my lock of the week. The last game I got is Miami at Florida State. As I just mentioned, Miami coming off a 26-7 win versus Florida in Miami. And then Florida State coming off their first loss, 3-1, which was on the road. Tommy Castellanos played bad in the loss. Besides his rushing yards, everyone's going to be all over Miami here. This is the Vegas special of the week, and I would just recommend buying that half point here too if you don't want to, but I'm taking Florida State +5.
All right, Big Ree. Going to be a juicy weekend. Boys and girls cannot wait, and it's going to get into it. Anything else before we sign off?